camera's so messed up. Pause this for a second. Not to be too much, but just yeah, there we go. Just so I can see you good. That's good. That was fine. Perfect. That looks a lot better. Just that first part's so important. But anyways, yeah. Sorry, to distract you. There you go. Way better. You were always going too far past there. Now it's just right. To where it's just enough to wind you up, but not go past, you know? Yeah. Anyway, sorry I messed you up with it, but yeah, that's it. That's it though. That's it. It's more comfortable that way, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, do that part again. Go ahead and just do from here. All right, that part. That's fine. And if this part doesn't make sense, don't worry about it. But this kind of goes for a lot of the form, like the same correction, which is just okay. So this is good. Come on here with the wrist. Then you go here. And the right arm and right leg go up. Now here. Well, this is fine, I think. Yeah, here. Now from here, look at it. It goes. The wrist goes here, across, and then like a whip, it kind of sits back here. So. Step out there. Now here's like you throw them over the shoulder. They block that. The elbow comes out. They block the elbow. The wrist comes out. So once again, it's, from here it's drop, cross. And by the time you get there, you're already like settling down. Let me see one more time. I couldn't see close up. I couldn't really see when I was doing it. That part looks way better though. That looks like experienced chin stylist the way you dropped it. That's good. You're doing this good. It's really good. There you go. Yeah, that's it. And you want to feel it right here. Well, you're feeling the whole form, but you really stretch this. Go in different directions. Like first you do it here, right? And then it's like we don't, at first, sometimes you can just do the seaweed thing, just kind of let it go here. But you also, at first, you do that, but there's also this little extra stretch there. And a little extra stretch here then, right? But then that's just a simple one. But then, you have the circle one right here. Or in this case, what you're doing is the figure 8 one. Stretches. Now you're turning your body. Stretch there now as you settle. Goes there. The power is all going through here. Then here. Okay. Now here. Right. It's a fish, right? So it's always going head first. Head first, which is here. When you're doing it this way, the head is always here. If we're going in a circle, it kind of switches. There's times when you do this, the other. But anyways, I'm sorry. So I'm digressing, but that's an important part. That is the main move. Tuck the robe is like the main, like this one. Buddhist warrior attendant lazily tucks the robe, and single whip are kind of like the signature moves, you know. Plus, the other styles, they all have single whip. The other styles don't have this or this. Well, Wu style might, but Yang style don't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, so good. So good. Yeah, that's good. That's it. Way more dimension to it. That's all. Yeah. Okay, that part. There was another part too. Yeah. The way, I mean, there's a couple ways to do this, but I'm just showing you the way it's pretty much the same, almost. It's just a little bit shorter, but it's the way they do it as well. It's the original style. Anyway, so it's this. So you finish this, right? So the posture is here. Oh, one more thing, you know how you can hold each posture by itself to like get stronger and stuff. Like when you're practicing the set, you can be like, just stay here for a few seconds or a half minute or a minute, whatever, and then go on. I just wanted to say on this, a lot of people do when they do tuck the robe, instead of the posture being here, which is like right below the belly button here. I also have a tendency to go too low, but it's supposed to be here. Anyways, instead of this, it's actually this way, actually, back. They do it this way. It was rested. And I guess that's part of our move, because when you go here, this part. But that's just a different way. They just when they're holding it as a position, if they're going to stay there for a minute, this, and it kind of makes sense just for the balance part of it. Anyways, so that's just part of the move. But here, you kind of just do it in, you don't actually do this or this. It's all kind of in a, you're like doing it here, and everything else is kind of catching up. So yeah.
Okay.
Oh, in this part, I'm sorry. So on this part, sorry. So watch here. One more time. I've done this. I'm here. Now on the follow through, I do a circle, right? This is all good. You're doing this part good. Now here, it's like there's a balloon here, about that big, like in your hand. You elbow that balloon so it doesn't actually do this. There's another form where you do this and all that, but I didn't show. I'm just not showing. I'll show you the extra moves later after you learn the form. For now, it's like you're hitting that balloon, and when it hits the balloon, the hand turns over. So you go. This hand goes. When the balloon hits, it goes. But it's not even like you do this. The balloon hits it. Boom, it turns it over. Now, this hand is looks like this. So you're going before it hits, this turns. So this goes here. This one goes here. So this is out. This one's in. They call it hidden hand, right? Because you can't see it. Yeah, because it's here. All right, so you don't want to see. Anyway, so yeah. Hits. Well, you've turned, right? So you're shifting your weight. It hits and you keep on turning. Now, this comes up. Yeah. Now from here, here, instead I learned you do this. You don't have to do that though. But you do want to just recognize that this is a posture for a second. You can at least look, point the gun barrel, but you don't have to do this, okay? So anyways, let me go back to what we're doing. How we're doing it. Here. Now, open. And drop to here. She drops to here. Just do it from out here. Yeah. What about hold on. That the right moves, but one more thing. I'll just say real quick is remember it's like you're hanging from a string, you're moving from here. Like there's a ball there. So with that in mind, you're going everything else kind of catches up. Everything it's like like you're moving underwater. Right? Not like you're not moving here, you're moving underwater. So everything's slightly behind. Anyways, so you go here. See how it's also a circle? Now look here, look here. What I was gonna say is you went here and waited, then turned. What you want to do is you're about here. When it hits a balloon, it turns your arm over. So your arm starts this hand here. As soon as this hits a balloon, and what's driving it is here. This is all behind. So it's like, so that by the time this gets here, you're already moving back downstairs, like downstairs with the legs. You're already coming back, starting to, right? And when you get here, the legs are already coming back the other way. But you open, shift, 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 shift. The foot comes up, drop and turn. So sorry, I knew that. I mean, I always do that, but I mean, you never know which part I might have to stop and to be like, oh, let's go to that part again. Yeah, there you go, 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 there you go. Now circle, good. Drop, drop, yeah, shift, 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 drop and turn. Yeah, you just drop to here. You don't want to push from here, you push from here. So you just let it, you're doing this, just let it drop. Then boom. Like the heaven and earth energy, right? So the earth energy is in the legs. Heaven energy is when you're just like dropping from a string, so it's way up here. And you're putting those two centers together. And then anyway, so I'm sorry, go ahead. All right, thanks. Very good, very good. Like you're pushing like giant balloons with your hands, and then your feet imitate that. It helps your feet work by imitating what your hands doing. Does that make sense? Like you're imagining.
The pushing makes sense.
Yeah, like you have a rope here and you're pulling yourself forward, right? But then that same energy, that same push, you're gonna do with the legs pushing the same direction into the ground. That push, your legs are gonna go into the ground as well. Right? It's just easier to learn with your hands. Your mind and your hand, your brain and your hands, you can really make all that stuff click. But then once you have that, now instead of just using your hands to do that, your legs automatically start. So anyways, go ahead. You're doing good. That's good. That's really good. There you go. There you go. So you notice those corrections? You got it seems like you're putting it into the rest of the form too. That's good.
Oh, okay. I was like,
the same corrections you put into the rest of the form. There's a bunch of stuff to put in it. That's why it's always like that. Like my teachers would always do that. Just go like, oh, start going to the form. And I've been there 5 years, and they're like, oh, stop, on the first move or second move or something. So come in there, so seriously. Especially the main teacher, he would do that to everybody. But it was cool though, because whatever corrections he put into that, she could put into other stuff. Like you realize it later too. It's like, oh shit, this fixes that other question I had, or at least I think it did. Then you can ask about it, But anyways, yeah.
I'm totally lost. There was one of these over
from
here.
From here, yeah.
That way.
Second one.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And this one is the one where it comes in.
Good. Yeah.
Right? Okay. One step back. Here?
Yeah.
I think my directions are off, but.
Oh, that doesn't matter. That's fine.
Cool. Here. I feel like that's when I fall off screen.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so if I just did a brush knee twist out here, then we're at this.
Nice. There's no break in your center when you're doing that. That's really good.
Okay, cool. I don't know what that means.
You're just on center. That's good. It's like one hip is sitting down all the time, so you're not double weighted like that. That's good. That's good. Remember, at the end of every move is this. You don't see it necessarily, but just right. Yeah. Real quick, I don't want to mess you up there, but like, look at the beginning when you're going, and notice you're pushing yourself up, pushing yourself up, pushing yourself up. That's good. The same thing here. You go, you push down, push down, push down, push down, push down, push down. And here you really drop this hip on this leg. Drop. Turn. Sit back. Yeah.
So here.
I meant to show you that on the earlier part anyway, just to, if it helps, is here. So you're really pushing with the leg, but look, you drop, just like you would drop to do this. You drop a little. You don't go like over center or nothing, but you just drop the hip right here. Right. And anyway, so you're here, drop, Now, as I'm pushing, I turn, turn. Ah. Now on follow through, I turn back this a little more. Turn. All right, and as I push back, I'm turn, I push back forward. Turn. Turn right this way. Turn. Drop this hip. Right, you feel that stretch there. Makes that step really easy. Push. Foot comes down.
There's a lot more turning than I thought.
You feel that in the legs?
Yeah.
Good. During all that, it should all help you drop, like if we're hanging from a string. Everything should always drop a little more. Shoulders and the hips should always just relax a little more. What that's going to do, all that energy has to go somewhere. So when you let go of the hips, it's all going to go into the core. But then when you let go, the shoulders. But then when you let go of the hips, you let go of the shoulders, it's all going to go into the core. But when you let go of the hips as well, which you have to do both, it all goes into the legs.
Huh. Oh my God.
Right, so you're not necessarily here, but you're letting it sit down. So anyway, so go ahead. Just go from the last one of these.
Here.
Yeah, you ever done the Wing Chun dummy? The wooden man dummy? You know, the two.
I know.
Here, the one here, there's one in the leg. You ever mess with those?
No.
No. I wish, it'd be great to get one of those at the gym eventually. They're expensive though. Anyways, you do move, there's a lot of moves you do like that. There'll be a bar there. Mm-hmm. So anyways, it just makes it a little bit easier because that's what all of this comes from. Or a lot of it. Well, there's a lot of styles that have that. Tai Chi has it, obviously, but in Wing Chun, they do a lot of this stuff. So it's like there's a bar and you're going, or in this case, anyway, so go ahead. So I was going to say, it's like you're going, but you run into an arm there, so it goes over.
That flops over.
Then you go here, you run into an arm. That's what makes them go over. So you're running into something. See it? Or this way. Right. It's a fold. Even though you do it slow, but it's like it runs into something. Runs into something. Get out the way. Yeah. And yeah. With that energy. Good. You watch this. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But just watch it. See if there's just a little more dimension to it. So don't worry about it if it doesn't make sense. But so this goes.
Hey, do you want to see how my shirt's wearing?
So the part I meant was mainly this, look. It goes a little more over the, you have it, but watch, it goes a little more over the top elbows.
And elbows.
Then you go here. This is the middle this time. It's not up or down like we've done before. It's in the middle. It's same as this, but you do it this way. And it goes like you hit him with your body, then your shoulder, then your elbow, then the rest of the arm goes through. Like you hit someone with your elbow, right? But they do a jujitsu type of thing and they just stuff you so they're inside your elbow now. So what do? You go out, you let go of this part, and you come out with the wrist, go around and twist, right? So you gotta grab their neck now, right? This didn't work. They came in, put their neck here. So you go out, come back in. Try to do a chicken on their neck. Turns into a grappling move, in other words. But you do it like a 3-section staff. You know what I'm saying? Where the staff hits them and they block it, but the next section goes over. You know?
I think so.
You know, the 3-section staff, each one's like about that big, but they have the moves where they'll hit you, but if you block one section, there's a little chain, and then there's another section. So it's like you have sections on you. So you're then like a still whip. It's like here, then here, then here, then here. But once you grab here, it just breaks away. You don't try to go through with the elbow anymore. It just breaks away, right? They hit them with the shoulder, but they block it, right? They get too close, it breaks away, so you can hit them with the shoulder, elbow. They grab that, it breaks away, you hit them here. Then now you sit back. And anyways, so yeah, that's the idea. So like you're going here. This is the part I meant mainly. Go over, and then here, go a little bit more over, and then the cat doing the stretcher. yeah. And then just smooth it out. It's good. There's nothing. What you were doing was fine. This is just putting more dimension to it. That's all. That's it. Use your legs. Boom. There you go. Now through. Use the legs. Sink again. Do the same move. There you go. Oh, on this one though, you don't hold this like I was doing there. It's here, and then you go. You come out this way, but it keeps going. Yeah.
Okay.
It just changes direction before you do that. That's all. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. It's almost like, yeah, people are grabbing parts and you're just letting it, when they grab you, just let that go and the next part goes out. They grab that part, you let the next part go out. You grab that part, you let the next part. It's like you're folding.
Cool. Okay.
All right, we got to this part now.
Right here, to here, to here, to here.
Good.
To this.
Yeah, I know it's kind of a lot of corrections, but I figured it would be all right because they're corrections that go to the rest of the form. The moves you already kind of have, so
Yeah.
Otherwise I wouldn't be doing the corrections on them. Sense.
Here. Here. And I think this is as far as we got last time, right?
That's not bad. Can I just do from here again? Slow down. Slow down. Okay, the timing on that. You have the moves, which is the first thing. It's just a little funny timing thing with the second hand. It's a weird timing. because it starts. This is primary, obviously. Well, first of all, remember this part too. So you're gonna go here. You don't want to. It's not necessarily this. It's like just like when you do this move the first time. It's not this you're doing it. It's pushing into the leg that makes you and do this, right? So in this one, when you're doing it, it's not this, but rather this one. You don't have to exaggerate too much, but kind of like someone was going to bear hug you, and the first thing you have to do is kind of make a little room. Boom. You know what I mean? You kind of blast them a little bit with the where your waist alignment. Boom, right? You're doing a slow motion though, and using your legs. So. This one goes, then this one goes. You had this one real late. It's not too late, but it's late. It's later, but not too late. So now as this comes back, I'm pushing my right leg out, like heel up, and this out. But this follows. Well, I'm sorry. Now as I push back, this is going to follow and catch up. So once again. And then now this one goes, and now they're kind of at the same time. I guess I should be back here on that one. And pushing into the ground this way. This one does the same thing here. It's like this. It's like someone has you punched somebody, they caught your arm, turned it over. Now they're grabbing you here and they're attacking your wrist, your elbow this way. It's this move. You grab their wrist, pull, and go through here and back of their elbow. So you're making them do this to escape it. Like if you fight it there, it locks up. We can do this, right? You don't. You can escape it by going through. All right. So that's what this is. And this one is almost like a double one. So you're going here. Now this one escapes. But it's just done a little more subtle than that. So it's all turns into a big circle. Instead of going, it just looks like. All right. By the time they get here, you're already wanting to stir the pot. So you don't actually stay here, boom, like this. You might if you're trying to hold a position just for get your balance or something like that, learn how to sit, but in actuality, you never really stop, you just slow down. So you sit down, but as you sit down, you're pushing into that way and pushing this way, the opposite way. So you're going, your legs are going. Now they switch the other way. Yeah, the other one. Overlap. Big circle here. Make sure you're dipping into the hip. So you're sitting back, and then when you sit back, you're sitting back this way, but then you push back the other way. So you go. Now push with the center. Come back into this one. Now you go into these moves. Hold up. So that that's good, but you just have to time the legs different. But you have to move. It's really hard to correct anybody until you have to move. So you have to move first. So now I can correct it easier. Otherwise, it would be hard to understand what I'm saying otherwise. So, okay, so you have circle and this. Pretty good idea of that. You're going here and there. Big overlap like you're underwater. Now you drop. All right, drop here. Now, just like when you do this, that move. That's what you're doing here. So you've gone here. Now everything breaks apart. This one does this. It does this, but it just does it that way. It ends up here. This one does it just like this, but it goes that way. Here's the correction part, the main thing. So you went here, here, here. The main thing is this, look. Here, you're skipping over to here and doing this. What you want to do is you're here, don't do this with your upper body. Your upper body is actually going to hang back. It's going to hang, pull back. This one's going to resist it. It's not going to do this. It's almost going to resist. This is going to do all the work. And at the last minute, it turns. But you don't turn it. You're actually holding back. I'm not letting it turn me like this. Look. I'm holding it back, holding it back, holding it back. Then turn. And this goes through. Now, all this leg pushing back. And through. See, so this isn't actually doing anything. I'm just going here and holding it. It's all this turning. It's this going like that. See that? So that's the thing. You don't want to go here. You want to push, 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 push. Not even 50-50 yet. Push, 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 push. Now past 50, just past 50-50, it's still pushing, still pushing, still pushing. Now you push through a little more, and now you're pushing back the other way. But see how you're pushing the whole way. So it's like, even from here to here, you got power. But you can't do that if you like slip a gear, right? You gotta, yeah, there you go. Push, 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 push. So you got power from here to here, or 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 from here to here, from here to here. It's really all about that range of motion, your range of motion. And like that's why the hips and shoulders are so important, because if those are loose, it gives you can really get out your way and use your waist. Turn that way, whatever. You know. But if they're tight, it won't turn, right? It won't loose. That's it. That's why I was saying this part of the form, they call it, I was telling you, they call it pulling toffee. This is actually the power part of it. This is the part that gets you ready for like the second form. The second form is the one where you're doing more. Doing that type of stuff, right? But it's really not that good to do without doing all this other first. Otherwise, you're just flailing around. But if you really have to learn how to wind up. But this is the part where this is how you do it. What we're working on today is actually what gives you that more. It's like you're not really using like the bicep muscles so much, right? And the big muscles, you are in where you're using basic mechanics, but what's you're adding to it is like more of the what you really want to use is the power from like the bones, the tendons, the ligaments, and all those small little muscles. They connect the tendons and ligaments and bones to the muscles. So you're really using a lot more of that, almost more like an animal would do. They use more of, it's more like a cat or something. It's more like your bones are like rubbery, you know. So it's a lot faster and more powerful that way. Anyways, so let's go from here. This one catches up. Turn. This turns first. Turn. Then everything catches up. So by the time I'm doing about here, this is already coming back the other way. Then this catches up. Now settle. This leg's already starting to go for the next move. And when I get here, the upper body's still going here, but the lower body is coming back here. And this catches up. Now they're pushing back already. Here. Fold over. And keep in mind when you do this, you're sitting back on this side. So you're sitting back like on a chair. So it should really wind this leg up. So that now it's wound up. So now it can winds up here. Like here, as I do this one's already starting to push back. Right there. Right. So you. Hold on. Watch. No, you have it. It's good. It's just here. There's a little bit left where you're gonna push from here and use that there. So you're gonna go here. Now you're pushing back the other way. But it's over here. Not back over here. You push through. Now they lock your arm right here. You have to use your back leg. Go through. Now you're back. You lock it up front and go through. So you have the basic move. We just need a little bit more of the mechanics right here. The waist and hips, that area. It's not an easy move to learn. That's why I'm kind of hesitant doing too much, just because I don't want to. You never want to make it a headache too much, but at the same time, it's like you seem right there with the move, so it's just like a.
If I'm pulling this way, pulling Taffy this way,
yeah.
You were saying then they block this arm here,
yeah,
and then this one comes in. I think I can
just like this
kind of grasp that whole
just
thing.
Like this thing,
yeah,
right?
But this one,
same thing.
Gonna come
it goes
this way,
and so does this one. This one's actually doing this too. They both do that. Here, they both break through, and so you're pushing with this leg here. That last little bit, you're getting the hip out of the way because otherwise you go over, right? You turn. It's like a figure eight. Your weight goes in the figure eight this way. Just like you got this figure eight, there's also a this is vertical. There's a horizontal figure eight going on with your legs and your weight shifting because I'm pushing back this way in order for my body to do this. Now I'm pushing back this way, right? Like what I was doing that. Yeah. So that's what makes this part of the form so. You're just looking at it. Tai Chi is just like a big spiral, right? But all these moves just accent different parts of the spiral, how to use different parts of the spiral. So these ones are really putting it all together with these moves. So it makes it kind of funny at first, but yeah, there you go. Okay. Hold on. Do that. So But watch this. So here, now here, you want to go here, not over there. It goes here, it breaks. You go through here. Now, don't do this. Just turn your body. Now, go through. Now, turn. Just turn my body, right? I'm not doing this. Body. Breaks. Shit, it's hard to. Okay. You're making me learn by doing this. That's why teaching gets you better. It makes you break shit up, and you're like, oh, okay, I haven't practiced that in a minute. Just the one hand. The one hand. See that? Now someone grabs your arm and you break through. It's like when you do this. Break through. Now once it's here, you don't do anything with your arm, you just turn your and then you go through here. And once you're here, you don't do anything with your arm. You just turn your body out. Same thing this way. Ooh, that's just making me learn too. I didn't really notice some of this stuff as much as before. And now you add it together. See how the waist comes in too? As I turn, the waist turns a little more. But see, it's also, you might notice too, you should notice this part. I'm trying to see with that TV there. This part up here. So you, okay, here. See, it doesn't just go over here, right? That doesn't work. It has to go over here. My hips do. So see that? It's over here. And then here. And then when it goes through, it goes over there. See that? I'm just using my body. Then going through, using my body. Go through my body. But see how I'm sitting back with the lower, sitting way back on the right hip. And then push off the heel. And sit back on the left hip, push off the left heel. You feel that with the legs?
I'm so confused with the legs. I feel like my knees can get a figure eight going.
Yes, yes.
But I don't really feel.
Make sure you're pushing into the heel when you do that. Into the heel, to the heel.
It's the heel of
push into the heel that way in order to go here, and then push into the heel this way. All right. So I'm here.
Okay.
I should already be pushing into the heel back that way. Push into the heel. So I'm pushing, push, all the way here, and then I'm still pushing into the heel a little more. Now here, I'm pushing with the heel on this leg. Push. Notice I don't go here, right? I make it push the whole way through. And then I push a little more through. Now I'm pushing with the heel here. I push with that, you know what I mean? So you're always going boom, 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 but with the legs. That's why the moves sometimes look funny up here, because they're just kind of mirroring what the legs are doing, really.
Okay.
And then, but you feel the power from that, and the waist and the circles get really strong and they get really comfortable and really strong inside those inside those grooves, inside those figure eights, and you start to being able to, you have a lot more power than you realize if you're using your legs.
Okay, so I need to ask about this heel thing again. Are we running out of time?
No, I just want to make sure. We got 6 minutes. We're good.
Okay, so I'm moving back. My legs are moving back this way.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do this turn. So I'm moving back this way, and you're saying to push into this heel, this one.
No.
Pushing into that.
No, that hill, but it's going. I'm glad you asked that.
Okay.
Good question. I wear better colors stuff for this
I know,
to work.
contrast to your room.
But like, it's not that you're pushing this way, you're pushing this way. Like from the toe to the heel, you're pushing that way. Now I go through. Now I'm pushing this way. Like I'm gonna swing a baseball bat, I push my everything into that heel. At the last minute, you turn it over, but at first you're pushing everything. Shit. I'm holding a baseball bat, right? And I'm gonna, when I first do this, I'm not gonna do this right away, right? I just lost all my power. First thing I'm gonna do is push into the heel, but to go this way, you push the opposite direction into the heel, right? You lose all your power if you do this. You gotta push into the heel, into the heel, into the heel. Then you turn, right?
When I do these swings, I'm pushing into instinctively, I'm pushing into like the outside of my foot, really. But I should be.
No, that's a good thing you said that, because I used to always
do that.
It used to mess me up, and these moves used to really piss me off, and they didn't tell me how the figure 8 part. They just told me to push back and forth, and it kind of pissed me off. So I understand the frustration. You just want to push, take your time. It's like you're underwater. Push into the heel. Push into the heel, like underground. Now you go through all the way to there. Now I'm going to push with this leg into the heel that way. Right. I guess the main thing is this. You have it. It's this. You just have to take your time and put a delay on there to make sure I have time so I don't get cut off. Oh yeah, I better hurry. So I want to what you don't want to do is this. Look, you don't want to go. I kind of slipped the gear there. I want to push from here to here to here to here to here to here to here.
Okay.
Now this one's taking over, and I push back this way. Push.
No slipping gears.
I don't fall forward, right? I just push backwards. And it goes here. Push.
And the turn at the end is like a release, or is still more force?
So it's at the end here, it's winding this leg up so that this leg can push back.
Okay. So it's pushing back and then like digging into the back leg.
Yeah. It's probably a lot, because I mean, now I see why they didn't explain too much to me, but still, I still think it's better to teach it that way, because otherwise you get caught doing this side to side thing this way. And it's really a figure 8. See, you push from a heel, you can jump from there later on some of those moves. Like when you go here, it can be here, or same with those ones here. Sometimes they're like escaped and you go, it's like or sometimes these, the push and pull, there's different moves to it. Oh, but hey, let me say
Okay, cool.
later on, just in case we get cut off.
Yeah.
Let me
Thanks
see
for
just the
all of
last
that.
one from here, just to see if we have any, in case we don't get cut off right away. But
What's
have a
this
good one,
part?
though. It's going good.
Yeah?
Try to take some notes. Only that way you can forget about it. Because you don't have trying to remember shit. Just take some notes right away. You
Okay.
don't answer nothing, just something you remember, and you can go back later and fix them for little parts. Like go back over the moves and just scribble some little notes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you want to do that. That way, once you wrote it down, you can just forget about it now because it's there. You're not going to forget it. You can go back over it and work on things one thing at a time and stuff. That's it. That's it. Next move.